What's up, GolfersRx? The Golf Yogi here, bringing you your weekly dose of golf fitness. A few weeks ago, we went through and we did some stretches that you can do for recovery stretches after you're done playing. I had a lot of people say, oh yeah, I've started to do these before I go out to play. And I want to make something just really clear with these. When we stretch before we go out to play, whether we're warming up, whether it's stretching at the house, whatever it is, when we stretch the same day that we're playing, we want movement. A lot of these recovery stretches that we did were for, almost yin poses and very relaxing poses after you play, something to do in the evening. So the way that I tell people is this. When we have tight muscles, if you want to use ice on it, that's fantastic. At the end of the day, after you're done doing whatever you're doing and being active, then you can use ice. We always want heat in the morning. So if you have a hot tub, if you want to put a heat pad on, heat is to get us moving, to get us flowing. Same exact thing with stretches. In the morning, when we're getting ready to do something, we want a lot of movement. In the evening, when we're shutting it down, we're getting ready to go to sleep for the night, that's when we can do a lot of, slower yin poses and hold them for a long time. So I want to show you just kind of the difference. We talked a lot about doing something wide-legged for recovery, where you just sit, you prop yourself up against something and just sit here. If you're getting ready to go out and play in the morning, we can turn this into an active stretch just by leaning forward, by rocking right to left. You can reach out forward, you can reach down the legs, you can reach for the feet, but you want a lot of movement in this. So before we get out and get ready to go play, a lot of movement. You can play around. It's going to get into the groin, maybe into the hips, maybe into the hamstrings, depending on where your tight spots are. Just play around with it. Again, rock back and forth. Another one that we talked about was soles of the feet together, and you could either sit back against something with these, or you could lay all the way back and just kind of lay here. Let the knees fall out to the side. This is a great recovery pose. Getting into the groin again, getting into the hips, letting the hips open nice and slowly with these. To make this active, we just sit right up with it, and you've got options here. You can hug the heels all the way into the groin, kind of press into the knees, or you can bring the feet out about a half a foot width out in front of you. Start to lean forward with it, and then we want movement. We want to rock with these. We want to bounce the knees a little bit. As my daughter says, we want to flap the butterfly wings. You can play around with this by trying to take the chest down, by trying to reach out in front of you. You don't really want to curl up in this and just try to get as low as you can. That's going to round into the shoulders. You want to keep a flat back here. Again, just movement with these. Get those hips moving a little bit. Should start to feel really good. Warm those hips up a little. You can make them big as well. Doesn't have to be real hard into these. Doesn't have to be a lot of pressure. Just anything that's going to get us moving here. Another one that I like, guys, last one I've got for you. To get into the spine, a great recovery pose. Getting all the way on the ground, bring the knees together, drop the knees to one side. You can either just lay here, you can look over the other shoulder. The one thing I'm really big on, I don't care if the knees get all the way to the ground. We want to keep this off shoulder. So if the knees are pointing left, we want to keep the right shoulder on the ground. Just lay in here, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, just kind of wringing out into that spine. Feels really, really good with these. If you're getting ready to go out and play in the morning, we want to do these a little different. Call them windshield wipers. Just going to lay all the way on the back. Again, knees up, bring the knees together. You can take the hands out, just kind of like goalpost arms here, and we're just going to rock right to left. We don't need to do this for speed. We're not trying to do this as fast as we can. We're not trying to do this as deep as we can. Just rocking back and forth, getting those knees moving a little bit. It should feel good in through the waist, should feel good in through the hips. Just getting those hips primed to go out and be able to rotate in our golf swing. So again, guys, the biggest thing I want to get across, stretching is fantastic to do for recovery. That's when we do yin stretches, when we hold poses longer, some of those that we've talked about before. When you're getting ready to go play, put some movement into it. Anything you're doing, make sure we're getting some good rotation, make sure we're really getting nice and deep, getting the body warmed, getting the body prepped to head out and play. So if you have any questions on these guys, feel free to send me an email, mark@thegolfyogi.com. I'm always happy to help. Head out this week, guys. Play some great golf. Cheers.